Hello, free enterprise fans. How are all of you today? I'm Martin. I'm a guy behind a microphone. I'm joined in the booth here by Microcorgs, and we have some racing this afternoon for you. We are continuing. We are in day, I have lost count. It feels like we've been doing this for months. It is only day 13 of the Lali-Ho League. And Corgs, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm also a guy behind a microphone, a different microphone, even though we're in the same booth. And it feels like there's a lot of Lali-Ho we've done already, but there's still a lot to go. This is the final couple days of week 2. We have 4 more weeks after this, but right now we have 2 racers, Commander Leonhart and TellahSaysRelax, who are sitting at 0-1. And when you're at 0-1, all you want to do is switch that 0 to a 1 and get your first win under your belt. And they have a starting character and some objectives that they have to deal with to get that win.
Yeah. And looking at it, but before we get into the objectives, obviously we're in the booth, but the people behind the scenes, Solaris and Mecha, taking care of all the restream duties and the important things like, pushing the buttons and keeping the buttons away from a certain possum. That's the important work. We just get to sit here and talk about the objectives, which number 4 immediately sticks out to me as a great time. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it could be fun really early to kind of present a challenge, or it could also be fun in one of those very rude late spots as well. So early, there is a Palom, just maybe one fight, and Palom has some level 2 spells to deal with potential early gauntlet. But yeah, sometimes you don't want to find it, but tonight they have to find it.
Yeah.
Unless they do some of the other objectives.
Yeah, and obviously looking at number 5, acquiring a certain mop. That's of course we want to acquire the mop. The mop is a wonderful character, but hey, we've seen incidents, unfortunately, as soon as I don't know, 30 minutes ago, where a mop may have been hidden in a giant. So we may not have a choice today. We may end up having to do that gauntlet. So that should be a great time. I'm looking forward to seeing where these racers go and the variety of routes we're going to take to get to the end.
Looks like, and I don't know if you noticed, Commander Leonhart, I believe, named the mop after himself. So I bet he's hoping to find himself rather early to perhaps go along with that Palom and whoever joins Palom at the start.
Yeah.
I'm curious about where both runners are going to go first, and I think it's going to have a lot to do with whoever their second character is.
Yeah, it's an interesting starting character. Obviously it's not, physical DPS, and like you said, with Palom, it's getting that first level or two to get the level 2 spells online, and then Palom kind of, comes into their own. But until that point, yeah, if this second character isn't, something that you can maybe go to Hobbs with and take care of whatever's sitting up there to acquire another character, yeah, the start could get a little bit rough. We may see a little bit of looting, possibly a hunt for some J items, a Blizzard here and there, a Boreas here and there to, help the early game. I don't know. We're going to find out as soon as the gate drops on the race.
It could be the classic sibling start to give you that early twin power, which I think could get you doing some checks pretty quickly without a lot of looting. But yeah, we need to see who that second character is.
I was going to say, as much as, people love, calling Porum the 10th best white mage in the game, it does serve one very important purpose. That twin command can do some amazing things in the early game. But it looks like the gate is dropped and we are off. Do we have another twin? That is not a twin. That is so not a twin. That is a door.
It's a door, or is it a wall and doors clothing?
I could see this game does pull tricks on you. We do have an Artemis bow for a start, though, which not a terrible item. Unfortunately, with this party composition, though, maybe.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I could be convinced. That could potentially get you through the Hobbs to perhaps maybe a Rosa, who might then pass the baton of the Artemis bow from, say, Palom to Rosa.
Absolutely. Shmoo brings up a very valid point in the chat about it being an exit mage. Do not underestimate the power of exit early on. That will influence some of the looting we might see. As we see Leonhart going up to probably Watery Pass, you may see a full loot of Watery Pass with exit and not having to walk it all back out. especially with a
Yep.
party composition like this. It is quite possible. So,
Quick check of the type
well,
of bed. Yeah.
that's okay. So about that giant being required, we'll just skip that one now.
Just got to find a certain ruby and bring it on over to Kaipo, and you get your. Well, Leonhart will get his Leonhart, and Tellah will get his Fu.
Yep. Yep. I did see Blizzard Spear and some mute arrows in the shop there in Kaipo, and Tellah, on the other hand, hello, that is an item.
Perhaps Palom doesn't need to put the Artemis bow in his hand. Actually, he still could, and Tellah could take it.
That is true. Tellah can be a vessel for the Stardust Rod, which is the best rod for a mage in the game. Has a very nifty little effect that casts Comet when uses an item. So, I mean, I hate to jump the shark here, but the early game is pretty much free now with that rod. So.
Yep, even those tricky early bosses like Magus Sisters or CPU, which you normally can't really do effective magic against, that Stardust Rod cuts through their walls. And I love taking out early Magus Sisters with Stardust.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, I would not be surprised, especially with the Fu in bed now. All of a sudden, places that runners normally wouldn't visit, example like the waterfall, possibly Mist Cave, all of a sudden now those become on the table because of how Fu operates and the way he scales. So you may see runners with a Stardust Rod just go in and bop those bosses fairly quick to get Fu basically online. So how does that one work?
So with this flag setup, Fu is a super powerful mage, but most of the time in competitive flags, you play with the Fu challenge on, or what is now known as just not vanilla Fu. Fu will start with 500 hit points and just a handful of spells, typically low-level spells. And with each boss fight, you unlock, I believe it's 3 spells. And once Fu hits 1900 hit points, because he gets 100 extra hit points, for each boss defeated, at that point he'll be fully online. But you're usually hoping to perhaps find an early nuke or a quake unlocked, which could, happen perhaps only after a handful of fights if you luck out.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, this depending on where we find that Sand Ruby, this may turn into a kind of an early low-level boss rush to get him online as soon as possible.
There were 2 other things that I didn't notice. Someone in the Possum chat mentioned there was a heroine robe found, and I happen to notice Artemis arrows. So if we do have a say a Rosa up here, that's just adding to the early power.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like both of them, wow, we are in sync going up Hobbs. So no surprises here on who the character is going to be. We'll see it at the exact same time.
Well, the Tokyo Olympics are coming up. Do we have synchronized hop climb as a event?
About that Rosa. About that Rosa. Well.
Commentator's blessing. It's in effect.
When it works. And yes, right into the Stardust Rod. Yes.
Yeah, this is a great mix of early strength. We're going to have Heron Robe, Artie, Rosa. We have the Stardust Rod. Palom's going to have level 2 spells pretty quickly.
Yep. And yeah, if I was that officer, I'd want none of this either. Nope, take care, goodbye. So unfortunately, because of the way the officer and soldiers work, the bulk of the experience comes from the officer. So if you
Leonhart
don't
was
kill
able
it,
to nab it.
Yep. Leonhart did get it though, so that is the full amount of experience from that spot. So yeah, if this that's a silence rod or silence staff there. Not a bad item. Obviously with having exit, all of a sudden looting the back of Hobbs, that's a bit uncommon. You do get some pretty nice tier items coming out of here, but if you don't have exit, it is a long walk to get out of here. So
I'd say I do it just about every time I have exit. Even if I just have an exit item, I'm tempted.
Yeah, because of the way that, tiers of certain locations work, obviously you're rewarded for kind of going out of your way for like what we consider weird checks. So yeah, those do scale a little bit better. You could find some better items in that spot.
Looks like we have our first bit of divergence. We have Tellah going through Antline, taking a few extra chests, and Commander on his way to Baron. Let's see if he takes these Baron infights.
I'm not against it. Getting characters, especially with the amount of firepower you have. Rosa pretty much being a a murder white mage, and a Stardust Rod being in your party, there's not a lot that's going to stand up to this. Although, considering it's an Ed, but we just found a Dancing Dagger, so I'm not against this.
Not at all. Especially you get Ed early, and perhaps you luck into an early spoon. He becomes just adds again to the early game power if we can luck out. Otherwise, he'll hang around until a better option comes along.
Right, until that Sand Ruby, makes an appearance. No one can dump him at the first available opportunity. I'll probably get in trouble for that one later, but that's okay.
There might be one or two people.
Just one in particular who I know is currently possibly floating around. So, this is a great boss to see in Antlion, though. I'll tell you what, I love having this one out of the pool.
It is sure nice to see Ogo in a spot where Ogo will be gone with one more input. Rosa tried her best with that Heron Robe to do a cure, and it was single-digit cures, but I still think Tellah will be fine here.
Yeah, and you're learning one of the fun little ditties about Ogo Pogo is that Ogo does not like magic very much and will counter with a blaze that will just snipe a quarter of your HP. Quarter of your max HP right out of the gate. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're using magic on it. And rewarded with, well, it's not a tier 4 item. It's a thing.
Yeah, I would say
that might be useful later. Maybe.
Maybe.
It sells for like half of a siren. I don't know. It could be a thing.
I think the value from there was knowing Ogo's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Information in this game is such a huge. Knowing what is in the pool, what is not, maybe getting an early wyvern out of the way. It makes the way you play the game so much easier with the information at hand. So.
On Commander's side, I'm concerned about the physical damage, and I'm wondering if we're going to see... I think he might have found an hourglass. I'm wondering if we're going to see it, or if he's just going to maybe blink and power his way through.
Well, I was going to say with those Artemis arrows, though...
That is very true.
Yeah, because this one, believe it or not, folks, this is actually a dragon. I know, you would think, like, Bahamut could be a dragon, Leviathan, any of these could be dragons, but this one really is one. So,
Leonhart
Artemis
might
arrows...
not...
do great things.
He might not have the Artemis arrows. I think that was from the full clear that Tellah did.
That might be.
I think Commander nibbled from both sides rather than the full through.
Mm-hmm. But Leonhart's through. So, and you're rewarded with Ed and hopefully a useful key item. Okay, game. Now we're just being silly. Okay, really right now. So about those level 2 spells.
Well, we did just get our first key item of the game from Fabul.
Yep.
We have the Legend Sword.
So we are halfway, obviously, to the Forge. So that's a good thing. But yeah, two Stardust Rods. I don't feel like Tellah's leaving anytime soon. I feel like he is a useful part of the. Okay, fine. The Stardust Rod is a useful part of the party, but Tellah can wear it. That's all that matters.
He can lift it above his head, wave it around, and make the magic happen.
Yep, absolutely.
I assume that's how you operate one. I haven't read the manual.
Yes. Usually that is the case when you have extras. Yeah, usually Tellah's current operating position is usually like a Stardust Rod and a Cursed Ring. Sometimes he's on the ground, sometimes he's not, but...
Leonhart with 2 Char Harps for Eddie, and I believe Eddie's not going to get to play a single note.
I'd agree with you on that. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Dancing Dagger, very useful item for Eddie. It makes Ed very, very good in the early game. It's not a spoon, but it works.
It is. Let's see what Tellah picks up from the 3 grassy treasure locations. I saw a bandana. I didn't see the second one.
I saw a firebomb. So,
okay.
Possibly useful J item.
Ether 2 is good for a future Fu. Fu, very powerful, as we said, but has a mana pool that does not really grow unless you are willing to pay shell out money for Soma drops. So having some Ether 2s assuming we have food for a good portion of the seed. It's good to know where they are, and Tellah definitely got, I think, 2 or 3.
Absolutely. And hey, it looks like we have a anonymous gifter gifting some subs to the community. So thank you for all the support. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching. So it's a great community to hang out in, experience, learn from. Try to fade the memes. There's a lot of memes, but yeah, overall this is a great time. Also a great time. There's an orb.
How many are we going to see double Stardust uses right now?
Absolutely. Comment will go right through a wall. That's the good part. The bad part is you're probably going to see a globe coming here shortly.
Eddie's going to try his best with those dancing daggers. I believe.
So yeah, for those that don't know, if you leave the big orb, by itself, the big orb is kind of lonely, and it lashes out with a nice little ditty called Globe 199. In all relative aspects, it will kill somebody.
Yeah, there's a few spots you might be safe, but Commander being aggressive and it paid off getting through without a globe.
Yep.
All thanks to Eddie and the dancing daggers ship again.
I feel like we shouldn't be giving Eddie that much credit. I feel like that's we can give credit to this though. This is a nice fight.
It's nice. I'm sure they're happy it's not a Val, but I bet they wish this was perhaps up on the moon.
Yeah, absolutely. Free is good, but free when it's worth more is better. So, Leonhart actually going through and actually going to probably kill the king. Depending what the Stardust Rod, probably kill the king and queen. But yeah, if you have the chance to accelerate this fight at all, killing the king first will make the queen go away faster.
Yep, he's targeting the king directly with those dancing daggers, and probably will do another Stardust or two. And I think it's the right call. I think he'll get through quicker.
Yeah. And it looks like Tellah did more of the traditional CPU fight. Taking out the healing orb, taking out the big orb, and leaving the mazer orb for last. So
that's what happens when you don't have the raw power of Eddie in your party.
I was gonna go 2 Stardust rods, but okay, fine. Ed with the dancing dagger, sure, I'll allow it.
So Leonhart's playing pretty aggressively. His first save of the game was up on Ordeals, and he's not saving through any of these fights. There's not a lot here that could challenge him. But,
no. I was gonna say that surprise wyvern though. That's always the thing. It could happen, and that is a rock. And please don't say I just spoke this into existence. Please be anything not named wyvern. Okay. Whew.
I think you're safe.
I was about to be in trouble there. So, yeah, pretty much, Tellah's going to be obscenely rewarded by this. Leonhart probably will go to Baronin at some point. But, yeah, basically, as soon as you're underground, that is the Forge, that's an objective, and that's a free X-Scowl waiting for you. Not to even mention the shop that could have all sorts of wonderful little things for you.
That could be a fun shop to find early, and they'll have access to it. Question is, will they have access to ideally a Cecil or at least an Edge to perhaps dart it? But so far we haven't seen either one.
No. Yeah, the only thing that also concerns me about that shop, unfortunately, is, well, we have 2 Stardust rods, and you look at our party right now, what do we really need out of that shop? It's going to have some great things, probably for party members we won't have. So
could have a 3rd Stardust rod to for the foo.
Oh, see, now you're just being greedy. That's okay. I like greed. Greed works.
We certainly don't have any underground access, however.
No, which is interesting. So what
does that mean?
Yeah, what have we seen so far? We've seen Ordeals. We've seen the Baron Inn. We've seen Antlion. What have we missed so far? Where's our underground at?
We've seen Fabul, and I believe there might be a hidden D-miss with this flag set.
I was gonna say we may be at that point here soon. So we do have a couple bosses to check still. We have Mist Cave, we have Waterfall. But I like where this is going so far.
Will it be vanilla?
Yeah. That is obscenely vanilla. Wow.
So with these flags, you have to kill the D-Mist, and in this case, just walk a few feet to your right, enter the town, talk to Rydia's mom in repose on the ground, and she will hand you an item, which I'm thinking is either going to be a hook or magma, or maybe another earth check like Earth Crystal or Baron.
Yep. Leonhart surprisingly fading the chests in there, though. Funny, that area is actually one of the better spots to get some very nice tier loot out of. So even though they're kind of spread out, you do have a Tellah with exits. So who knows? Maybe we'll see Tellah peek that when they make their way to Mist. I don't know. But
Wouldn't be surprised.
that is not underground. Not yet. We're still working on it here. Oh boy, I love how this seed is starting. This is turning out spectacularly. Ooh, speaking of spectacular, look over on Tellah's side. That is Thor Rages, life potions, and vampires, which are very useful in the right circumstance.
Yeah, perhaps if either one had checked that shop first, they might have shelled out for some vamps for the for some early clears, but the Stardust Rod kind of took them through that.
And a cursed ring for sale. I do not blame Tellah for buying that for a second. Now you are no longer worried about the quote-unquote anchor problem. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You keep them alive or dead, it makes zero difference with that ring. So
always good to find that early, especially if this ends up being a hook route, which could have a speedy and dangerous boss at in 2 spots.
Absolutely. Yeah, that hook route you do not screw around with agility at all, or I mean, we've probably both seen and or experienced the fact that yes, that can gate you pretty hard if you're not careful. So
yep, there's a challenging race earlier today that I won't spoil, but that would be one to go back and check out to see an example.
Not that we're rooting for that or anything, but I mean, hey, we're all Team Free Enterprise at heart. We like to see the game sometimes, give you the what for and see how you get through it. So
I feel like one of your preferred phrases is character building.
Oh, it's always character building. I am so overflowing in character right now.
I played one of your character building seeds, and it was a fun 4.5 hours.
Sorry about that. Leonhart, quote unquote, rewarded. I don't know. By finishing Antlion Cave, hooray! That is not your progress, Leonhart.
Well, I mean, you got the 8th best hat in the game.
That an argument could be made. So it looks like we are buzzing over to Fabul here. Let's see, maybe a little shopping? Yeah, always the shopping. That is a horrible shop. Wow.
We have no character who can use it, and even if we did, I don't think anyone's shelling out for an Odin.
I feel like that shop probably should have been out of business a long time ago. If you're slinging literally nothing but Odin, I don't see you doing a lot of business.
Maybe it's the last item on the shelf.
Yeah, possibly. Hasn't been restocked yet. Yeah, I could see that. That is another great boss, actually, to get out of the way early. That is Carnazzo.
Well, we've had a mix of 2 tricky bosses off the table, Ogo and Kainatsu, and 2 easy ones, the Kaipo Guards and the King Queen Eblin, so the seed's kind of given us a little of each.
Yeah, it's a good little balance. Yeah, Kainazzo in the wrong spot. Ugh, God, you find Kainazzo like Elements, Asura, anywhere on the moon. It can get really bad really fast, so this is a welcome thing.
There is still character to be built, I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So both Tellah and Commander are about to find out that underground access is probably going to be gated through Baron or further checks beyond Baron, but Leonhart knows Fabul isn't it, and Tellah's about to find the Vanillity Mist.
Now, I will say, obviously, with this party, as it's sitting right now, Baron, not going to be too much of a problem. I think we'll be all right with the 2 bosses in there. So. Also, we do get access to the Baron armor and weapon shops too. So there could be something worth purchasing in there as well.
Yeah, let's see if Commander goes for that right away, and it looks like he is not.
No,
he is sewer bound.
We'll see if Commander grabs the 3 chests down here. This is another one of those. They're actually legit tier loot. So, a few seconds there, we're going to go right by him.
Commander playing very aggressively. Few saves, few just pushing through that CPU fight, not looting. He is beelining.
I like the style. And we had a random circumstance of the inventory boss appearing on Tellah's side. That dreaded inventory boss.
Commander will do a safety save here. We still have that Wyvern on the table. I know we've all kind of been burned at one time or another by the Wyvern on the throne after you get through the Baigen spot.
It's not so bad when it's like, all right, that first boss, goes fairly quick, and then you get sniped by a Wyvern on the throne. But when it's a long first boss, like, God forbid, it's the Gauntlet.
Right.
At Baigen. And then you're like, all right, I suffered this, I'm through it. And then you walk up and you see the sparkle and you're like, you're not doing this to me, game. You're not. And then Blarg occurs. Yep, been there. Been there, done that.
Pancras in chat pointing out a good point, though, that Wyvern won't be here because the underground's going to be either through this or through Earth Crystal. So
right.
That is a good point to keep in mind.
Yeah, fortunately, the devs are somewhat kind sometimes, that certain bosses cannot gate your underground. Basically, some of the worst the game has to offer.
Tellah pulling that rune axe from one of the chests that Commander skipped, which, if anyone is ever around to wield one, could be useful.
Yeah, absolutely, especially against Mega Sisters, Asura. If you're doing a grind on the moon against warlocks, it could be a useful item. So, also, but another great thing, this wall. Seen this wall here. Have you ever seen a wall Leviathan before? Have you ever seen what that does? It's not pretty. It's bad.
Like they removed all the padding from it, and every time you hit it, like it's not that comfortable.
Oh boy, yeah, no, that wall does not play by any rules known to us in Free Enterprise. You will just, glad to see that one out of the way. So that's another great boss that we don't have to deal with in the future. So yay.
Also, seeing a character kind of petrified by a wall in Baron, as Jeebus is pointing out, is kind of apropos. Tellah almost went full rock.
Almost. Quick little rearrange of some spells here. Yep, virus, weak. Basically, the level 3s. Anything you're probably going to use here. So, I mean, Tellah's got a Stardust Rod. We are magic boosted. So, Tellah does have use right now. So, might as well capitalize on it.
If there's a boss weak to any of those elementals, he will do a good. He'll probably one shot here. Which is good for him because he can't cast that many because of his limited mana pool.
Yep. Hey, speaking of bosses weak to things, either way this goes, it's not going to like something. And in this case,
the only question here is the tricky timing of the Ice 3. We'll see if that even comes to play. He doesn't even need to cast Ice 3 to get through this fight.
I was going to say probably Ice 2 with a Stardust Rod might be enough.
Yep.
So,
especially for
also,
Talon.
Yeah, you got to be careful here with Ruby. Ruby loves to counter any physical attack with Fire 2. Depending on the spot you find Ruby, those can hurt. So you got to be careful, but
Speaking of hurt, Rosa doing 2k damage to Ruby and ending
Yeah.
her fight.
Yeah. Heroin robe, Artemis bow, and some ice arrows. Yeah. No, that's a Monday waiting to occur right there. So, Ruby, we will see you again in the future.
Look how close our runners are right now. One just wrapping up the fight, one going into it. We're about to see perhaps. Well, we got
Not
a
a foo.
karate.
That is
We have a
not
yang.
a foo. I love how we took completely different routes. I mean, you look at how these two runners kind of just branched off and did completely different things, and it funneled it right to this, and we are within a minute of each other.
Tellah making use of the ice too to get through Ruby in a remarkable similar time.
Yep. So now for everyone's favorite Baron check. Yes, folks, it is the Baron trash can. So why people leave things down in this trash can, I don't get it either, but it's going to be something useful.
It's good that there's a walk. You don't want your trash too close to your house.
No, not at all. And that, ironically, was about the item that everybody was hoping for. Yes, folks, that is the hook.
Indeed, and without a, I mean, Rosa can do some physical damage, of course, especially on Tellah's side with the heroin robe, but we don't really have a physical force aside from a low-level Yang at this point. We'll see if the hook character delivers something.
We can hope. Like you said, it's a gated character. So, the edge is on the table. A duplicate Fu would be on the table. So it's possible. I do like Leonhart spying this, though. I like him going down to take a peek and see who's in Baron Basement. So there are still free bosses out there.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's rooting for a blue robe of either kind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, that's okay. I mean, theoretically, doable. Time consuming, but doable. But I will say that rune axe you mentioned earlier, though, that will do some work to her once we find a character to wield it. So,
yeah, that hook could be the Kane or Sid, who could both use it. It could be Cecil, who could also use it, though Cecil is destined for an X-Cal at some point.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, launching our favorite little hovercraft. No, you cannot swim over the bubbles. I know. I have tried. It doesn't work no matter how many times you attempt it. So, and into Eblin Cave we go. The question is, do we loot Eblin Cave? The answer is yes. Yeah, of course we do.
At least these first three, picking up a siren. We'll see if there are some, with this flag set, you can find sirens in this shop or any of the shops underground or on the moon, but they are not guaranteed. So sometimes getting that one or two siren out in the wild is a nice thing to find.
Absolutely. And obviously, depending on your levels, getting underground, popping that first egg and getting everyone, 10, 15 levels and getting them online can make a huge difference as you progress through the game. So
can make an immediate dwarf castle check possible with both a boss hunt and a character hunt. That's usually pretty appealing.
Yep, absolutely. Looks like both of them right now currently trying to fade the inventory boss. I'm all for it. Also, coffins and Bacchus wines. That's a nice shop.
Useful things to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Coffins work on anything that don't have the boss bit pretty much said and will insta-kill most things. Bacchus wine's kind of self-explanatory. You drink enough wine, you get a little bit angry, and you might want to get out of the way.
And all you want to do is fight, and fight, and fight.
And fight.
Until either the fight is over or you're on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Now, you notice Leonhart not opening anything else on the way up here. I don't blame him. There is a trap chest in here with a couple stale men. They are very sneaky in terms of damage, and what is that?
So, that is another old magic user, but not the one we're looking for. We know one of our dupes is a Tellah.
Yeah. Now, that boss, though, that is a Leviathan.
Have we seen a Thunderclaw yet? Because putting that on Yang, that would hit a Leviathan. I don't know if either runner has checked Yang's starting equipment. Young could start with a Thunderclaw.
I feel like that's hopes and dreams.
Also, nice set of lit arrows for the Artemis bow and for Tellah's Artie heroine setup could be good.
Yep.
Nope,
that is a
Young.
Fireflaw. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Lit arrows would be just turn Rosa loose, just put Berserk on her and let her fly. And hey, speaking of those stale men, hey, look what we found.
Yep.
So
At least Tellah picked up an hourglass. I think maybe both runners did.
Yeah, I was gonna say I believe I just saw it fired there, so that will make this fight much easier. Not a lot of XP out of this fight, but it is a chance at a very nice possible, tier 4 through 7 item. Obviously, we all want to see tier 7. The game sometimes has other designs on what it wants to give you.
Usually the ones up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you got. I want to hear your PS.
I was gonna say PS. Please don't let it be a vampire. We don't want to see that. Don't do that to the runners, please.
We don't need a second samurai helmet either.
Yeah, that is also true.
But the other issue is, I mean, the one I would always want is an Avenger Excal Crystal Sword, and those aren't usable at the moment.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong; they're still nice to find. Well, so about that tier 4 item. Okay. Sure.
Would be beneficial for Commander Leonhart to take that one, but he has no interest in Tellah.
Yep.
I'd purchase one, so.
Yep. I believe that's the age-old running joke of, hey, look at that. I just bought a curse ring. Oh, look at that. I just found one in a chest. Yay. We've all been there. We've all done it.
Yep, I had a recent one with, within 5 minutes, 2 back-to-back in chest. after shelling out the 25K, so I felt great about that.
Yeah, especially when you find sirens like, oh, well, there goes 6 sirens. Oh. So, looks like Leonhart's going for the ogre chest. I'm not against it. And I would bank on the fact that Rosa probably has the right set of arrows on to make very short work of this.
Yep, we see an immediate berserk, self-berserk, and I think we're going to see some pretty big numbers landing on these ogres, and Leonhart set up to do life glitches.
Yep, that qualifies as a big number. For a very low-level Rosa, that works just fine.
We'll see how far Palom gets him. I don't know if he's going to get to Quake.
If this goes 7 for 4 like it should, was it 16,590 you get from this? It should be enough. I mean, obviously, we're also curious about the prize in the chest. That's also important. Blink, learning Blink. There's Quack. That's what we wanted to see. And, well, hopefully this doesn't turn into, hey, everything is now Leviathan. I've seen those seeds. We don't talk about those.
Maybe maybe this team can study it, because that is the boss coming up in the second spot here. Know thy enemy. Study the orb.
Might learn something from it.
Just stare at it for a while.
I mean, I'm not against it. Hey, it sells for money. I mean, I would have rather had something else in there, but I'm okay with it.
So I think probably Leonhart's going to see the first boss first. This is a spot that's known for being very punchy and very fast. We'll see if it's if the boss that gets slotted in can take advantage of the speed and the punchiness, or if it's more of a walk in the park.
Yeah, and this is where you learn really fast that an anchor is very handy. But hello, so you better get those Cure 2s firing, because here comes pain.
Not punchy, but
about that. Okay,
speed for sure.
We have problems. The good part is we have Ed.
We do. We have a way to get through this. Eddie can utilize perhaps his greatest asset and just hide.
Yep. And you notice, Leonhart immediately going into the status screen and looking. This is what we're talking about when it comes to agility. You need Ed to be fast, which means you need that center character to be slow. So, of course, Tellah's going in the middle.
Did Leonhart adjust his battle speed at all? I'm wondering.
He
might not
turned it
matter.
way down. I believe we're on
Okay.
Wyvern standard time right now.
Excellent.
So as long as this hide goes off, and well,
Oh,
about that
no.
hide. Now,
We'll
here's
see if.
the
Yeah.
interesting thing about this fight, though. Tellah is going to have an infinitely easier time with this.
Yes.
So, yeah, and obviously Possum brings up a valid point to this as well. We'll get to that, but Tellah with that curse ring, everybody's going to go fast. So, Ed in that top slot will get his hide off. Possum bringing up the valid point, put the Artemis bow on Ed, and that will speed Ed up to the point he'll get the hide off.
And that's what Leonhart did. He's a very experienced runner, and he went right for that.
Yep. Yeah, things you learn playing this game. You really do learn agility and where it comes in handy and where, well, you can get killed by it if you're not careful. So. Let's see. And that should be the hide. Wow.
Oh. Now we got to think about some options here.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say. I feel like. Let's see. Yeah, he's already on BS6.
Trying to catch. So obviously Tellah's at 9.
I love how we're sitting here thinking about this. Obviously, there are ways of getting through this, and Chad has brought up a couple of them involving the term run buffer. But yeah, no, I don't blame Leonhart for sitting there for a minute. Like, all right, I don't want to walk out of here. I really don't. But how do I get through this fight?
Yeah, some folks in chat discussing all the different options. Jeebus mentioning sometimes you actually have to put. You don't necessarily put Eddie in that top spot. Moving around characters relative to each other can change things. Looking anxiously at TellahSaysRelax.
Oh,
he got the hide off.
There it is.
Tellah's going to hold his down arrow and run back to that save.
I was gonna say, for the love of everything, whatever you do, don't press A.
So the other strategy is Yang does have pretty good HP growth, and that might be what Commander Leonhart's going for here. Some few extra levels get Yang to a point where a single cure gets him through it.
Right. And it's a solid play. I mean, we were seeing probably 500-600 damage coming out of there. So getting Yang to probably... You're going to have to get up there. I mean, you're going to have to get into 1,500 HP to where a single Cure 2 will be enough. Either that, or part of the starting kit, obviously, is an elixir. So I'd hate to burn it to get through this, but...
Now, if that's what it takes, you got to do it.
Yep, absolutely.
There's always another elixir.
I mean, hey, if you're going to end the game with them in your inventory, you're not doing it right. So you might as well use them where it counts. So I hate to say it. It's like, all right, great. You just got through DKC at one of the worst early game spots in the game. Fantastic. Here's a 25,000 HP Leviathan for your trouble. Here you go. Have fun. That's not a great reward.
I have a feeling we're gonna see some Berserk Rosa here.
Oh yeah. That maybe we see Tellah, throw out a Lit 3 here.
Yep, Stardust Rod Lit 3, Stardust Rod Lit 2 perhaps.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're going big. I love it.
Question is just keeping the health topped off, and these Ice 2s, they're not too strong, but this party does not have the hit points to withstand. Unless they're fully healed up, maybe they can survive one, but most of them will not.
Yeah.
Tellah in his gear though, look at that.
So. That is the number. That is a quarter of Leviathan's HP right there. Unfortunately, the bad part about this is obviously the script for this fight pretty straightforward, but another wave is coming, and it's coming right now.
It's going to take off another quarter of their health, and it's going to send the Yang to the ground.
I mean, the good part is obviously Tellah set up Yang to be the anchor here. Literally only has a Fire Claw and a Cursed Ring on. So, not exactly a great loss, but at the same time, I really would love those Ice 2s to go anywhere except for on my 2 spellcasters. So I would be getting Yang up and try to keep Yang alive.
A possibility here is to throw a Star Veil on your very valuable Tellah, and then, Cure Tooth Potions can, with his hit point pool, will get him where he needs to be.
Yep, absolutely.
Commander's Yang approaching 4. We'll have over four digits of hit points after this fight. We'll see at what point he decides to give it a shot. We should name that Yang Norman.
I see what you did there. I approve. Looks like Tellah, obviously, yeah. Keep Tellah alive. Yes. The great part is 90 MP on Tellah is exactly 3 lit 3s. So that is a great problem to have.
And Rose is putting out good damage, and TellahSaysRelax is our first one through to the underground. Nice job, Tellah.
That is a crumble. Oh, it's so it feels so good to get through a crowd. So the best part about we get a few extra little benefits, obviously, going through Hook Rat too. We get to possibly take a look at the boss at the top of Lower Babel. Maybe we grab that chest that's currently in our view. Are you gonna go up and grab it, Tellah? Are you? Go up. It's right there. It's right there. Ah. Oh, and didn't look at the boss. Nope. Wow.
I would want to know if that's a blue robe.
I was gonna say I like surprises, but I mean, if I don't have to have it being a surprise.
Commander did not adjust his speed after the grinds, but he realized that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I know we always joke about, obviously finding like Ogopogo at the next spot, or, certain bosses you just don't want to see at the Ruby/25k spot. You don't discount King Queen Evelyn. I mean, we're so used to the fact it's a free fight and they just go away that you don't really understand that the stats at this spot are absolutely terrifying. Until you find something like this here and you're like, oh, about that.
Yeah, usually I think the worst case scenario is something that's just going to hit you hard and fast, but it's the scripted dark waves that are, I think, reacting with the are based off physical damage. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's what we're seeing here.
Yep, and it looks like Yang is through, so set up very well. Get the Cure 2s off. Put down the controller. Don't push the A button. Please.
I you're feeling impatient.
Some of us have extended this fight possibly on accident by accidentally hitting the A button at the wrong time.
I didn't see the shot, but chat is telling us that there are more Stardust Rods, so maybe my trio of Stardust Rod prophecy will be
made true. Boy. I was going to say, and yep, there's the, that looks like a very close inventory boss, I'd say. So yes, selling everything here. Also, don't be shy. You have nobody that can wear a lot of these things. Yeah, those crystal shields, they can go away. You don't need them. You're fine.
All right. Besides Stardust Rods, what else?
That is that is a nice
crystal
shot.
Ring, yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep that one in memory. We might come back for that later.
I think Coco would have talked me into at least one crystal ring.
Little bit of extra agility there, and Crystal Ring has a few other nice little side benefits. They're just wonderful to have. So,
yeah, big defensive item, and as you said, the speed. But it looks like TellahSaysRelax is probably going to go check a freebie chest. Always a good idea to know exactly what you can get with one press of a button.
I like free. Free is good. Tell you what I don't like though, looking at those bosses usually in the march. That tends to sometimes cause me pain.
They could be free.
They could be. It could be. We've seen some nasty ones out of the way too, but you know, finding a nice little Beigen sitting at Leviathan, that's what we call a character builder. It could be a thing.
Yeah, the opposite of free, but we do have levels available to us with sirens, and we have a package pickup from the rat tail chest, which, who knows, could be our food.
You know, it would not surprise me to obviously. I don't know. Do you go say hi to a lazy Yang in bed, and then go back up top and check the package while you're up there for Shiva 1? With this party? Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, we're looking for upgrades. We're looking for, you know, physical damage. We're looking for Cecil. All this great equipment and nobody put it on. Yeah, we're looking for Cecil.
Yeah, a Cecil, a Fu. Not sure if there's any. Did they pick up any great equipment for canes or edges yet?
You can always buy a white spear. That is okay. That's not terrible.
That's either free or an objective.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? If I was Tellah, yeah, I'd go back save and I would check it. Absolutely, because one of two ways that goes. Either you get great experience out of it, or yeah, you know, you might want to come back a little bit later for it. So even that other one, though, that other one is not terrible at that spot. So
no, especially with Quake and a Stardust Rod, you bluff up some Quakes, and you just got to protect your magic users.
Yep. The only thing you got to be careful of, those two spots are ridiculously fast compared to what you're used to on the overworld. So yeah, without a pretty good anchor, it's gonna go really fast. So
I think there's also potential if Tellah's party has mute arrows to one-shot these with the right agility setup.
Absolutely, and this is the objective. So this is a fun fight. It's not terrible until we get to a couple of the enemies later on that can really cause some problems if you're not careful.
I believe you're talking about some enemies where it'd be better if your feet were a little elevated off the ground to avoid their main attack.
That would be part of it. Yep. Also certain Daggeron-looking ones that love using Blitz. That's also a great time.
Probably just about all of us that have played have probably gone through a long fight here and then only to be wiped out at the end by the clappers.
Yes. So, also, yeah, as chat brings up a valid point, hey, guess what? We have Tellah. So guess what Tellah comes with as part of his repertoire? He comes with Float. And as we all know, walking on damage tiles is always a real peach, and unfortunately, Rosa does not learn Float till the mid-30s. Tellah gets it once he's upgraded on Ordeals. So, why is that important? You're about to find out.
Unfortunately, it's usually better to cast it before the fight, either in the fight preceding it or even before you take the encounter at all.
Because here it comes.
It's not a wipe, but they're going to keep coming.
Yes. And Ed doing Ed things. Ed decided I don't want this. I'm gonna go hide.
Yeah, if you walk 10 feet behind you, the earth is not shaking anymore.
No, it's very targeted. But on Leonhart's side, hey, Leonhart's through. Fantastic.
Yep. Great job. We'll see what decision he makes as he now has the underworld to consider.
Yep. And to nobody's surprise, yep, objective first. So.
Gonna light up that yellow number 2.
Hey, speaking of lighting up numbers, you know what we haven't talked about in a little while? How great of a job Solaris and Mecha are doing. The restream's been solid. The buttons are getting pushed. They're wonderful people.
Mecha got a bit of a through that difficult hook route. But yep, no, he's got to be he's got to be sharp from here on out because I think the KIs are going to start flowing pretty quickly.
I would say so. But yeah, no, you should all go give them a follow. Obviously, they're putting in the effort here, so definitely make sure you go follow. Obviously, the runners, both Leonhart and Tellah. Go follow Mecha. Go follow Korgs. Go follow
And
Solaris.
follow.
Don't worry about the other guy. Don't. It's fine.
No. If you're gonna click all those follow buttons, you might as well click one more and follow Martin.
You notice I'm not saying anything about that.
Yep, I understand. It's tacit agreement. So follow Martin.
Poor life decisions. I'm okay with it.
So you see the power of float. They're getting quaked, but nobody is getting hurt. Even that Rosa is. So it's what we're seeing is she powdered or blinded right now, and even though she looks like she's on the ground, she's still floating.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It looks like Leonhart, on the other hand, is going to make a play here, possibly at Dwarf, and we're going to possibly see who the boss is waiting for us here at Dwarf 1.
Illusion's the only item of note in the shop.
Never underestimate the power of them. It saves you a blink cast. Can be a very good thing to have. So, but nope, no Dwarf quite yet. Looks like we're going to do some shopping. We're looking for specific items here. In all reality, probably sirens.
Yeah, we know they're in the Fey March, but I believe we haven't seen hourglasses yet, which would also be a great pickup.
And obviously, Leonhart being a man of the people, elementary school teacher in Dwarf. I mean,
I know,
hey.
Yeah. I mean, I know some elementary school teachers who would sometimes like to run away and hide in a warehouse far away. So, understandable.
Yep. Nice shop. Hourglass 2s and Mute Bells. Those are both very good items.
It looks like we have the full.
Go ahead.
Just the full suite of level 5 J items are available to us throughout the various shops, which is always good.
Yeah, I personally love having myself a nice little 10 stack of Mute Bells, in case my my XP options take me up to the moon. They can do some work against some warlocks, let me tell you. So.
Yeah, I recently had to try that. Oh, yep, here we go with the clapper.
Yeah, hi. Have you met my friend Blitz? Because you're about to. Uh-oh.
And this is where getting those hourglass 2s ahead of time can really pay off to just stop them in their tracks and let you just pick them off. Because even though this is a boss spot, they don't have the boss bit, and you can say nope, no more blitzing.
Yep. So blitz is half of your max HP, unless you have a resist to lightning on your party member, in which case I believe it goes straight down to 10%. So either it's going to hurt or it's going to tickle. There's no in between with blitz.
Good news is though they are weak. They are dragons and they are weak to Artemis arrows, and we saw Rosa hitting pretty hard. And resisting that blitz.
Oh, looks like Leonhart has acquired a couple sirens there. Yeah. Now for the bad news. Yeah, see, Pancras deal. It's like, great, I just got through a clapper. Cool, here's another one.
I'm pretty confident, though. TellahSaysRelax is going to get through. No whammies from me.
No, not at all. So it looks like a lot of the characters have resistance to lightning on, so...
Even a complete whiff on that one. I don't know if you noticed what the Quake did there, and why perhaps worked on the last fight, but not on this one. And that clapper is paired with the Conjurer. Quake will damage it. I guess the Conjurer kind of grounds it, but on its own, it is hovering, it is flying, and the Quake goes right underneath.
I was going to say, Conjurer doesn't do a very good job, obviously, of bringing it along. Let's see what Leonhart thinks of this march. Of course, yeah. You have to spy it. You have to see if it's the right one. So looks like Leonhart's going to take a run at it here. And Tellah, we love you, but no, if the Quake didn't work the first time, it's not going to work the second time either. The game does silly things, but I don't think it will ground an enemy sometimes. I would love it to. It would make life so much easier.
Nor do Quakes whiff, so
Yeah.
it's not like, But there is an objective. Tellah is through.
And once again, a weapon for a character we don't have. Yay. It's so exciting.
And a seed without that as an objective, you feel really burned, but you accept it because now Tellah only has to complete 2 more out of the 3 remaining objectives to get his crystal, which will allow him to fight Zeromus as soon as we have some kind of moon access. So you'll take
I
it.
would guarantee you Tellah has a ton of relief right now that gauntlet is not somewhere ugly like the moon or something like that, and getting that specific objective out of the way, it does take a weight off your shoulders.
And perhaps if he strolls into Cave Bahamut later and sees a blue robe, he'll also feel a similar relief.
Yeah, absolutely. So gonna take a swing here at Dr. Dialogue. I'm not against this.
Not at all. It's always fun to know that you never have to come back to Feymarch. Hopefully the sirens that he bought will get him through the seed.
Yep. It's also kind of an interesting way how the HP split works here. Technically, because it's multiple, you have Dr. Lugi, you have Balnab. If you kill one or the other, they, like Dr. Lugi will transform into somebody else. So you have that form to deal with. You have the next fight to deal with. So the HP scaling here is not that terrible. So these are actually fairly tolerable bosses in the spot, even though this is one of the hardest hitting spots in the game.
Hardest hitting, and as you said, with the hit points, without the split, this is like, I think, mid-30s. So now I think these 2 are probably just below 10k, and the final 4 maybe just over 10k. So it takes that normal slog and gives you maybe not quite bite-sized pieces, but much more manageable pieces.
Absolutely.
Commander Leonhart approaching the clapper phase.
Oh boy.
Either this one or the next. Let's see.
And we'll see how Leonhart's equipment holds up against Blitz. And on Tellah's side, well, there go the first 2.
First 2 without seeing that transformation.
Yep. Now we get into the interesting one. This is kind of the oddball. Basically, the way this fight's going to go, everyone's going to get poisoned. You're going to see a very low power beam, and then you're going to see a very high powered laser come out that in all reality could snipe somebody. It is based on Doc's current HP total when it fires, so it can hurt.
Those first few definitely will until you get some damage. Yeah, this phase is annoying. As you can see, Eddie gets the gas effect, which basically, and as does Rosa actually, which renders them essentially asleep, and it'll eventually wear off. And Luge himself will actually heal you at some point, but until then, you are dealing with a very annoying set of circumstances.
Yeah, no, the name of the game of this fight, get as much damage out as you can and kind of mitigate the laser that's going to be coming right now. And, well, about that.
It got him. It got him.
Tickled.
That was 3 Tellah's worth of hit points. But the quakes are rolling. It's good that that Palom didn't get gassed.
Yeah.
Archer Eddie contributing.
I'll say one of those fights, as the fight goes on longer, it does become more manageable. So that's a good problem to have. So kind of the same thing with Kainazo. You know, the less HP, the less the waves are going to hit you for. So it's a useful mechanic.
A spot where your offense becomes your defense in a way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep, pointing out that laser is now down to 140. I think maybe one more quake and this is over. We'll see if it even gets to the quake.
Yeah. There you go. I'll tell you what, not only is it a great feeling to finish that gauntlet, it's a great feeling not to have to come back to the march ever again. So,
and hopefully, for Tellah's sake, he gets something of value. Let's see. He certainly does.
Value.
2 objectives down here in the Fey March.
Oh, that's great stuff. Yeah.
And now we know that Commander should definitely take that fight. We'll see Commander exit out.
Yep. I mean, there are still ways, obviously, to do 4 objectives, but knowing that there's one literally 1 square away from you, that burns, unfortunately.
It does. So. That 3rd objective is available because the hook is required, and of course, hook was our underground, and we do have a potential Fu sitting at that package. Tellah could be in go mode pretty soon if he lucks out. Otherwise, we either need a Sand Ruby or a Harp.
Looks like both of them are going to go say hi to our favorite lazy punch mage. And then we're going to go be rats and go tell his wife what he's doing.
He just needs 5 more minutes.
I was going to say, you know, we are horrible people. I feel like we shouldn't do this. But, I mean, you know, we get rewarded for it. So I'll
it's
get
all
over
in
it.
Progress. The quest is more important than anyone young.
Yeah, I mean, if I got to rat out a punch mage to get myself some free loot, I'm ratting out a punch mage. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're phrasing as ratting out. I think Sheila's very relieved. So relieved that sometimes she gives you something to hit him with.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I like it. Leonhart doing a quick airship swap. Don't blame him. Nothing worse than trying to go pick up a hovercraft with a falcon and finding out it does not work very well.
I think Tellah's going to be summoning some eggs, get some early experience. Only 6 key items. Sometimes some runners like to wait till they get to the 10. When you hit 10 key items, your experience is doubled, but there could be an argument for getting a couple extra levels at this point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anything like possibly level 3 spells on the kid. Maybe you're looking for like Cure 3 on Rosa, even though you have her set up as kind of a, you know, murder Rosa. But level 3 spells on the kid, I'm much like as you see right there, especially with the Stardust Rod. Getting those online is a very useful thing. So, and yeah, as chat points out, a Moon Veil from Sheila. I'm not against it. It's an upgraded Star Veil. It can do some very amazing things.
We're about to get the information on the package character on Commander's side of the screen. Let's see if it is indeed our Fu or a Cecil.
What is it with this seed? What is it with the dupes? Really? Wow.
So we have 1 dupe remaining, or have we seen them all?
Yeah, we've seen a dupe Tellah, we've seen a dupe Rosa. So we are 1 away, and then all the other characters have to be all their separate entities. So
still possible for a Dwarf Castle Fu.
Yeah, it's possible. So, and Leonhart, a man of the people, the dwarf toilet.
That's gross. I think it's dwarf suit made by dwarves for dwarves of dwarves.
I feel like it wouldn't be in a room by itself, guarded by a dwarf, unless it was a toilet. Especially right by a cave entrance where it can vent. I mean, I'm going with toilet here.
I guess it is convenient.
That looked like a very bouncy king back there.
And we have another high-powered summon from the Pigtail.
Hey. I hear those sell for money.
Lots of GPs.
All right, so we have an Odin.
I think early on this is a little scary, but with some lit magic, not too bad.
No, not at all. TellahSaysRelax, Tellah abject disappointment, Tellah pushing the reset button. Yep, that just about summed up the last 10 seconds. There we go.
Tellah deciding on another course of action. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same exact check about to happen.
Not at all. I mean, you've got a character check, you've got a key item. Yeah, you've already seen, your boss that you need to complete the game, but
I think remaining is just the top of the tower, the keyless tower, and of course Commander has the Dr. Luge and the Leviathan spot, which has the pink tail. But that's it for our side, what we know.
Yeah. Well, let's see where this goes.
That's a shiny floor. Could we use a mop on it?
That is not a mop, sadly.
It is not. A wrench would just scratch it up.
Yep. And honestly, to nobody's surprise, I'm not surprised it didn't taste it there. Not for a second. Even though you do have a rune axe in your inventory.
Oh, that is the other spot. The Asura down at Odin is the other one.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe it comes back to bite you, but I mean, there are ways around Asura without, a rune axe. Obviously, mute arrows on Rosa will do equal amounts, if not more, damage than that. So,
one consideration on Commander side with that, the curse ring, is that perhaps kind of a low level Sid with the dwarf axe could be a perfectly suitable anchor. But
absolutely. Yeah, because Leonhart has not found either of the cursed rings that Tellah has. So whether it be via shop or the trap chest. So that Odin is having a Monday. Wow, that stung a little bit there. The power of a level 3 spell on the kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
I guess that egg paid off. Let's see if Dwarf Castle itself pays off with a needed key item, such as a harp.
I was going to say, what do you think she's wearing around her neck today? I mean, some ladies like necklaces and diamonds, and some people wear cast iron pans around their neck. I don't know.
I'm assuming this one's one of those small little omelet pans.
Yeah, there you go. So, unfortunately for the runners, we call this the triple Fabul check. I'm not going to say it's every runner's dread, but nobody likes doing the same thing twice, and nobody likes doing the same thing 3 times either. So,
with any luck, there shouldn't be a 4th, though, so let's look at the bright side.
Yeah.
We still, all these checks, all these objectives getting done, we still do not have a pass or a darkness crystal, which are required to get to the final boss.
Mm-hmm. I think Yang's 5 minutes are up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to. We should time that out. Was my 5-minute prediction?
It was pretty close, I would say.
Though he could steal some more time with that Hourglass 3, perhaps.
Yeah. I can honestly say I've never timed an Hourglass 3 to see how long it actually will stop an enemy for. It could be 5 minutes. I don't know.
So I feel confident that Sheila is going to give us the goods something. Is it going to be a darkness, an earth? You know, whammy here could be a magma key that's not needed. Or, of course, a non-key item overall, but we'll find out in a moment.
Well, I am not against it. You know, keyless tower is now keyed tower.
I don't know if either you or chat can help us out, because Tellah did not peek top of tower. I'm not sure if Commander did.
I actually did not see whether Commander peeked it or not.
My guess is he's getting pushed there now.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of, with a seed like this, I feel like you kind of go where the items lead you, and everything has been pointing now to the tower, so.
Thank you, Night Dew, in the chat telling us it was a Lunar Sparkle.
Ooh,
So,
I like.
we don't know
like
exactly who it is.
There are possibilities. I like possibilities.
I think we have both spectrums, ends of the spectrum open. Plague and Wyvern. I don't think we've seen either.
Strangely, both of those, go figure, are actually terrible for different reasons. One of them is obscenely slow and make you think your game is breaking. The other one, not so terrible because, hey, guess what? The magic power at the top of the tower, not that great. So that Mega Nuke will hurt, but it won't hurt that much.
And then the subsequent single nukes, some of the higher hit point characters might be able to shake off.
Looks like Leonhart's going straight to the top. I'm not against this at all. You still have 2 objectives you need to complete, so it doesn't really matter what order you do the tower in, just as long as it gets done.
And apparently he peeked it, so he knows that he's in store for one of these lunar bosses. No hesitation, no saving.
I hope you're ready. No saving. How has that ever come back to punish us before? I don't know. Hi.
Vern.
Yep. So about that being punished for... I don't know if you hold this.
Can we play a game?
I don't know if you hold this.
Can we play Life Roulette?
Yeah,
it might be doable, but it might not be worth it.
Yeah. I mean, you saw that reflected nuke doesn't do much, if anything. Unfortunately, it's still enough to kill your party right now, so.
Yeah, the Yang would be able to live through one probably, but probably no one else.
Yeah. Leonhart wisening up to the fact that, yes, there's no way you basically hold that, so.
So he did save halfway down the tower, so that's not too bad.
Okay.
And now he has a specific enemy to prepare for.
And it looks like Tellah's getting the check done and getting the tower key as well, so we'll probably see the 2 runners meet up here. Oh, well, that's free. That's not free. That's like that's super free. That's like all the free.
It's super free, but unfortunately it slows down, which normally a hold A and one-shot fight now becomes a little bit of a touching cutscene.
Yeah.
Speaking directly to Demeshi.
Yeah, as chat points out, yeah, seeing this here, it breaks the heart. Don't get me wrong, it's great for Team Pre-Enterprise. Because if we have to go to the moon, well, there's going to be some fun things still up there available, but yeah, for the runners, though, yeah, you do not want to see this here. So.
It's kind of a fair fight. Eddie got a hit in, Waterhat got a hit in on Eddie, so well done on both sides.
That's vanilla enough. I'll allow it. Now, Tellah is going to be in for a little surprise because Tellah did not spy the boss up here coming down the hook route. So you may see a slightly dramatic pause on Tellah's side right before the bridge to the fight just to see what it is and possibly make some changes accordingly.
I'm rooting for a save. Commander, of course, knows and is saving. Let's see if Tellah decides to do a preemptive save, or like you said, maybe staring down the sparkle and backing up and saving.
Yep. Nope. Tellah doing the floor 7 save. Good.
It's going to be very happy with that decision.
Yep.
I don't know about you. I'm rooting for this to give harp. We haven't had music yet.
I know. I feel like the game is, making us work for it. So hopefully it's not buried on the moon somewhere.
I think this fight counts as work.
Yeah. I'll go with it.
At least the work of resetting and setting up.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see what Tellah does. It not just went straight up that bridge, right into and in Tellah's mind, like, oh please, no, don't, not this. Spoilers, it's that.
Commander getting a good reflect, 3 Starvels up, 7k of damage. Not the typical quad 9s that we see due to the lower magic, but 7k, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 people up to start juggling and dodging nukes and raising people up.
All right, on Tellah's side, looks like Rosa evaded one of the rules for Mega Nukes, so yeah, actually had 2 people stay alive there.
He did, but unfortunately about 2k of damage going out against the Wyvern with that initial Mega Nuke, so that's going to make it a little bit longer. A little bit more damage has to come out, though. The Arty Arrows, which I assume Tellah still has, are going to help. I haven't been tracking the Arty Arrow usage.
Yeah, unfortunately, the speed at this spot, when you're running on battle speed 1, I mean, if you're... I don't even know if you can be that perfect on your inputs to somehow keep ahead of this Wyvern, but yeah, unfortunately,
like
there's a reason why Wyvern standard time is a acceptable measure of time in free enterprise.
Yep, Wyvern time has a value. Typically, it's 6.
Yes. So yeah, the fight does take a little bit longer, but the end result, you're through it. Once again, hopefully not just a tier 4 item. Please.
Coffee and Chocobos in chat suggesting relive life. 6 on the weekends and 1 during the week, I believe, would be the ideal.
I'm not against this. Can we make this a thing? Matter of fact, if we could have something above Battle Speed 1, possibly for Mondays, I'd also be okay with that.
You want Mondays to be a metaphorical jet seed?
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for, going straight to Tuesday. We'll just bleep right over Monday. Yeah, PS 0.5. Yeah, devs, can we get on that? Can we maybe figure out how to, manipulate time a little faster, please? Not that they don't have enough work to do already. Hey, speaking of the devs and the amount of work, do you know how many sprites we have in the game now?
It's upwards of 10.
You're not wrong.
I don't think you can disprove that statement.
That's why he's the best color man in the game, folks. 525 different Z sprites and 242 variations of music. That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work, and we always appreciate both flavors of randomness, and we're gonna get to we're guaranteed to see at least one of them. I don't know if we're gonna get the harp music, but
so that's not even counting all the different color palettes for all the characters. I mean, there's a lot of work that the devs are into. So
I believe the Commander Leonhart's Wyvern has been pretty consistently targeting the Palom before Quakes are getting off. It's been a long fight, and I'm sure he does not want to have to do this one again.
No. This is one of those rank up there with the gauntlet that, yes, I'm glad this is off my plate. I never have to see it ever again. Thank you.
That poor kid.
Oh yeah, Scala brings up a valid point. Obviously with Scala's birthday sprite in there. Yeah, technically now we're at 526. By the way, I'm going to let y'all in on a little known secret about Scala's birthday sprite. If you see it appear on your seed, chances are you probably have the newspaper coming for a reason. So just keep that in mind when you're running a seed and it appears and you're like, oh, I'm going to get bopped.
It is pretty fearsome.
Yeah, it is.
Both runners getting through about the same time and getting a really nice piece of steel.
Hanzo! You know,
Hanzo for no one.
Isn't it a great time when you can sit there and say, you know what, if I ever find a Cecil, an Edge, a Fu, that literally I have all the gear possible for these characters to make them absolutely terrifying in my inventory, and I've probably had it in my inventory for the last hour. It's such a great feeling. I cannot put into words.
They might be about to get a great feeling. Maybe as Commander walks down the disintegrating bridge, he'll be handed a spoon at the end of that. Speaking of great gear.
So I'll pose you a question while we're both, you know, obviously both runners are still kind of in the tower. You're an hour and 23 minutes in. Obviously, you've got a couple objectives done. You've kind of seen how this seed has played out so far. Where do you put yourself in terms of, am I behind? Am I running side by side? Am I ahead? What are the thoughts that go in at this time frame? As we see what we get out of the tower here real quick, which is K, that's the thing.
Yeah, which is something where if you're feeling behind, maybe you do a full gamble, abandon your few checks left on Earth, and go there. And I would say both runners could reasonably feel behind just because of how that hook went, and if they had any thought that their opponent got through in first attempts, which is unlikely, but if they did, yeah, then you would feel a few minutes behind at the very least.
Yeah. Obviously, the great part about this, hey, guess what? It's another character check. Spoilers, it probably won't be Fu.
So if it's not Fu,
it's gonna be our last dupe. It'll be a third Tellah, just to rub it in. It'd be like, yep, you gotta make this party work. Sorry, deal with it. Thanks, game.
I wonder though if it is. I wonder if we see Commander take the Tellah to replace the slightly level Tellah.
I mean, you know, what, 1 point of agility, 2 points, 3 points of agility. I mean, maybe an accidental Charm Claw on a Yang. I mean, there some bad things can happen if your agility is not at, you know, the correct number. So I wouldn't blame him. I mean, you haven't invested a Soma drop or anything into him. So yeah, sure, trade him out. Take a slightly lesser Tellah.
Scoring in chat saying Leonhart does have a curse ring. I didn't notice that pickup. I'm not sure.
Oh, nice.
If it was a purchase or a chest pickup.
I mean, having an extra elixir there, that's not a bad thing. Obviously, you don't want to see bombs or exits on the moon, you know, where they might have been useful earlier in it, but with a Tellah and an exit bot,
Bomb is such an impressive sounding item, but at this stage of the game, it's not much.
No, it has its uses, definitely early on, but let's see who our character is on the moon.
Let's all lean forward and stare at that spot.
We're hoping, we're praying. That is not, wow. Well,
Bahamut.
I mean, you know, I'm not even going the Bahamut route. I'm saying, hey, cool, there's a nice 4 agility anchor for you. So
goodbye, Eddie. So
So,
Commander does not have the Bahamut. The Bahamut was the Pinktail turn-in. Tellah has it. We'll see if Tellah is tempted to use Rydia as an anchor or not.
well, I think we know the answer on Leonhart based on the gear that we're seeing. So yeah. So Rydia. Rydia's a fun little conversation. The bad part is she takes 1,000,000 experience to get online. The worst part is the rest of your party is level 33 and she's level 1. So
And
getting that 1,000,000 right now is not a great proposition, I would say.
especially considering with this flag set, we have this flag called No Experience Boost. And if you've seen other tournaments, that typically is not on, meaning the slingshot is on, which means a low-level character coming in late gets double experience as long as they are at least 5 levels under the median level of your party. But that's not available, so it's just straight experience. And there's plenty of experience to be had on the moon. But yeah, as you're getting to that 1,000,000, that's a lot of. You would want to take the boss fights at 10 key items if possible, or you're just popping a lot of sirens.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, there are obviously some forced encounters you can do up here via siren that would cut into that quite a bit. Gold dragons being one, warlocks being another. But yeah, without 10 key items, without that double experience boost, it's. I mean, you are more than welcome to do it by all means, but you're going to end up with some characters probably in the mid 60s by the time you see Rydia hit level 50.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I mean, and at that point, your Z fight will be easy, but it's also going to take time, and if your opponent has another way through, it could be a big time loss.
Yep, absolutely. So
Tellah opting not to take the Rydia.
So let's see how this goes. Obviously, going bottom up here, I'm not against it. I mean, if you're Leonhart, you're looking at it like, all right, I need a Pinktail, I need a Harp. I would take something that would lead to a character check, a la Earth Crystal. So where's the most amount of items I can find on the moon? It's at the bottom. So coming down here first, it's not a surprise.
And Leonhart, I don't know if Tellah did. Leonhart, I believe, is the one who checked the Sand Ruby and knows it's Fu.
That is true. But that is not a Fu. That is a Mylon.
This is another spot. I don't know if that Palom, does his Palom have Fire 3 yet? Because that's a big way through this fight. I think we know that Tellah's Palom does. Let's see.
And that is Fire 3. Yep.
And I don't that punch hit Palom in the back row for 1, so I think Palom is going to be perfectly okay here.
Unfortunately for Yang is not going to be okay.
Oh, you know what? It's pretty nice thematically. It's matching Commander's menus.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I wonder if that was planned.
Probably. He probably knew that eventually Yang would get poisoned.
Oh, poor Rydia. Oof.
That was not a hittable one.
No. So yeah, as chat brings up, it's 42,000 HP of this. So, also we have a slight problem with Rosa being out of arrows right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get through this fight. The problem is he is going to miss out on experience for at least 2 of his characters, perhaps all of them if Rosa takes a few more hits. I do like seeing Palom just kind of flinch and take hits of 1, though.
Well, that's one way to stop Rosa from punching. So, okay, that works.
And that was not a 1. That was a high roll for 119. I don't know how much higher it's going to go.
Well, it looks like Tellah took a look at a fight and, oh, well, we've all been there, folks. You go into a fight wondering why your turn's not coming up, and you realize, oh, I'm still on Wyvern Standard Time. Been there.
Always convenient, though, when the save spot's, a short walk away rather than having to make the call, do I take this at BS6 or do I reset and take a walk? Easy decision.
I think we've all been there, too.
Kind of roll your eyes at yourself and promise that you're going to change it, and then 2 more fights go by.
Yep. All right, Leonhart's through. Nice quad 9 finish, and the reward is oh boy. So about getting rid of that Ed.
And I didn't notice Eddie was dropped for Sid on Tellah's side. I'm just seeing that now.
Yeah, about getting rid for that Ed. Oh no. Well, it makes a nice dart. What's an edge? I don't know. It's look.
We just have to learn how to chuck stuff.
I'm grasping at straws here. Okay, I got nothing.
It's just one more toward 10.
Yeah. I mean, that's about the best thing you can say about it. So.
And looks like Leonhart is sitting at 9. So if he gets one here, it'll make his leveling a little easier.
I mean, I personally would not be surprised to see Leonhart possibly put the brakes on after this, if this is a key item, and pop a few sirens and get people some levels, and then just take care of the rest of the moon. So while a lot of the moon is probably doable for both runners in this spot, levels make the world go round, and yeah, make things a lot easier.
So I think that one's going to put Tellah at 10 key items.
359, yes, because of the pink tail. So yes, Tellah is in XP heaven. And I believe that Tellah bought more sirens than Leonhart did. I want to say when I saw Leonhart do shopping in the March, he only bought 4. And I want to say Tellah bought 10.
Assuming Leonhart can get to 10 key items, that might not be that big of a detriment if he takes kind of a doable fight and can get some life glitches.
Yeah, I mean, the rate, like the Gold Dragon fight, obviously, single life glitch on a Gold Dragon, I believe you're at 180k. If somehow you can actually get a double on one of them, you're at almost 250,000. Yeah, 3 of those fights, and you're pretty much sitting pretty for the rest of the seed. So
yeah, and if he plans to take that Rydia to the end, though right now it looks like she is fulfilling an anchor role.
So it looks like we're getting our first look at Ogopogo's spot. See what sort of great, fantastic amazingness is going to be here waiting for us.
Do we have any freebies left? Dark Imps, maybe?
No. Well, that's not free.
It's gonna hit hard, but
yeah,
I think this is definitely a doable fight for both runners.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately, when it gets 3 turns before you function, that does create some problems sometimes. The best way to think of this fight, once you get about 3 of the legs off, the speed becomes manageable to a point that the fight is more or less free. It's surviving about the first 7 hits, so you can get it slow enough. That's the challenging part sometimes. So
takes 3 hits to take down the first arm, and then every 2 hits after that will do that. And as you said, that's going to slow it down each and every time. And it is going to be a key to get past it in a hard-hitting spot.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like Leonhart is through Mom Bomb. Rewarded with an item we all wish we could throw away. How many times have we run into an inventory boss acquiring a magma key wishing we could just toss that thing away? I have.
I guess as long as it counts as that 10 key item, it can get tossed away. But
just leave it on the moon. It's fine. Nobody needs it. We're good.
You just check off the box. I had 10 at one point.
Yep. So yeah, that's Leonhart's 10th KI. So let's see what Leonhart decides to do here. If we're going to continue with Ogopogo spot, or if we're maybe going to dump a Sirener. And based on where he's walking, my gut is telling me Sirens are incoming.
Yep. He knew exactly how many key items he had, and taking one important step past that threshold. I don't know if you've ever made the mistake of using a siren without taking that step.
It's been a bad experience. Let's leave it at that. So hourglass twos work well on these things.
They do. And it's not that bad here because you can just reset, but sometimes I guess you wouldn't run into it if you're coming down the moon, unless you accidentally took a step. You would be fine.
Yeah.
But it would be a reset.
Yep. Oh, and also very important, make sure you kill your anchor. Tellah gets a rat tail from Ogopogo. It's not enough for me to leave. It isn't. I still go do Wyvern. I still do it. You're looking for a character or the harp. I would say if I could somehow pull Earth Crystal out of Wyvern, I would be gone. Because it's 2 characters and 2 items based on the items I've gotten from the moon. I save Scum and I go check out Earth.
Now, I wonder Tellah, without the knowledge of the Sand Ruby, would also consider Sand Ruby as something leaving to check.
Possibly, yeah, for a character check. I don't know if a single character check would be enough. That's wow, look at this.
Breathing the fresh moon air on the surface.
Oh! All the faith in the world going into the... I like this. I like this. This is bold. This says, you know what? I feel like maybe I'm behind. I'm going to go spy this immediately. So also, let's not forget, that barren basement is still lurking there. All of this play on the moon may not even be necessary.
Yeah, that is true. That could be our harp. That could be our Sand Ruby. What do you think? If this doesn't pay off, do we see a reset?
I don't know.
Or do we see a trip to the barren basement?
If I'm here, I probably go do the barren basement and reset, because then I know what I need is on the moon.
Do you remember the reward from Outland Cave?
Oh god, it was useless, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the samurai. So, yeah, it was part of the samurai equipment. Yeah.
Yep. So the full set of samurai gear is probably hidden all around in different key item locations.
Tellah about to fight their own bomb, and well, we know what the reward is, and it's going to be a letdown, unfortunately, but it's a good experience. So
good, but probably not the full experience, given how this boss kind of splits experience, and unlike Commander Leonhart, this is not the 10th key item, so literally no value.
No. So that's interesting. Well, we'll have to see how this plays out. Obviously, if they finish these at appropriately the same time, yeah, we're into Wyvern, we're into Pale Dim, we're into Cave of Value. I don't know. If this isn't a tie right now, it is very close. The only advantage Tellah has is that pink tail. So.
And that's a substantial advantage. It's not nothing.
Yeah.
It's one item from go mode.
Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see what happens. Does Leonhart make the same play here with the rat tail, where it's like, all right, I have to check this. Where was Pinktail? Pinktail was at Leviathan, courtesy of Dr. Dialogue. So they both did the Fawul Gauntlet at the Asura spot, and Tellah actually took the time to do Dr. Dialogue and was summarily rewarded for it greatly with the pink tail. So
looks like Leonhart is warping. A good way to skip that level of walking, and we'll head toward the Crystal Sword altar to see if he can pull a needed item. I'm kind of wondering if we see a pass before we leave the moon. Otherwise, these runners will be coming back, unless one of the final Earth checks leads to it.
So at this point, I mean, I don't know what Leonhart's thinking, whether, he's behind otherwise. If this is exactly either Earth or Harp, I say leave. I bank everything on the fact that the Harp, either the rat tail leads to something, or the Harp's going to be a double check, and it's going to lead into go mode for me. And if not, you live or die by it. So you have to take that at some point as, okay, it's basically age old. Do you go top down or bottom up on the moon? You win or you die by it. So this is
and
interesting.
If we,
that is cheating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as we see the 3 punches that are going to fly here, this is way more fun.
Interesting?
This is way more fun when they keep punching. Let me tell you.
I thought you might say interesting interesting grind options once the hourglass is applied.
It is. I mean, I'd throw some life potions on this. Get a little bit extra. Absolutely.
And as Coffee and Chocobos is pointing out, if you do a toad, because if you hourglass them and do a life 2, they'll come fully back to life and you can kill them and get more experience, but they'll be in their normal form and they'll be doing that interesting hitting that you just mentioned. Whereas if you toad them first, when they come back to life, they'll remain toads.
Yep. And you can continually do it. I've seen the life 2 grandstone before on certain spots, and yeah. I mean, you've got it, you might as well. So,
but it is a small extra time investment. Palom just got to Meteo.
Oh, the value.
Pretty useful against the vanilla boss.
Yeah, that's about as fast of an exit as you'll see ever cast. So, I mean, yeah, like chat brings up, I'm not against the 200,000 experience. I'm okay with that, but not that reward though. So, all right. So, value, Pale Dim. That barren basement is screaming at me right now. Like, I feel like leaving that one behind. I got a very bad feeling. I hope I'm wrong.
I wonder if Commander's having a similar bad feeling about his Luge decision.
Yeah.
Mecha pointing out there are 6 spots left and 5 items, so we're bound to start hitting KIs with these checks. Yep.
So Tellah about to get, I can't even say rewarded. It's an item. It does things.
A door prize.
Sure.
A souvenir.
Well, that is a great fight to see this spot. This is one of those thank you that it's easy, let's say. You do have to be careful with this though. I'm guessing you probably know why.
I do, and I think Commander does too, because he's about to cast Toad, which is going to only affect half of the dolls, but it's a great reason, because if you happen to leave just one flavor of doll alive, they combine to form the big doll. And
Super doll.
Yeah, but those Toads can't do that. Toads can't be dolls.
Nope, they cannot. I will say it is a little bit terrifying every time you kill the first dolls. And then you see all the Toads trying to say, turned into Calcabrina, and you're like, oh, God. Oh, never mind, it doesn't work. It's a really good feeling. So, fortunately, the Quake took out all of them. You have to be careful with that, though. The issue is the dolls aren't split on the HP perfectly. The back ones get more. So, if you short that quack a little and those back ones stay alive, well, you know what's coming, and that is interesting.
For a couple of reasons. I don't know if you noticed who stayed alive at the end of that fight.
I did.
I was thinking if that was a whammy that he didn't want, that might have been a reset.
Unfortunately, this does set up one very... Yeah, unfortunately, Possum has nailed it. This fight gets complete. That is go mode. for Tella, even though Tella has not seen who the character is in bed. Next trip to Earth, we're going to see who the character is in bed. So.
Yeah, there's currently a tractor beam coming out of Kaipo, headed right toward TSR's party as soon as he sees the Sand Ruby.
Yep.
I think it's gonna reel him in.
So, and obviously the Sand Ruby commander knows I still need one more. So to the Cave of Value we go.
Tella thought about strolling out, but remembered that the exit is the quicker route. And we'll see if it's an immediate return to Earth. I would not be surprised at all with the tractor beam engaged.
Yep. Put a save point up here. Put a save point there as well. Leave the double. Go check the character. If you're wrong, come back. Do value.
Still no pass. We'll have to come back and walk down the lunar.
That is not a terrible fight at the Cave of Value.
No, more possibilities to either get through very quickly or to do some kind of life glitching, at least life 1 glitching, if not life 2 glitching.
Absolutely. There we go. Guards are toads. Life is beautiful. All right.
And I think Tella will share that opinion that life is beautiful when he sees the the semi-spherical head of Fusoya poking out from under the blankets. Guess more of an egg.
Yep, there's rejoicing happening right now, like yay! And I feel like this isn't a question of, am I gonna take food? This is a question of how fast can you get into my party? Yes, come hither, come now.
So what do you see for TellahSaysRelax's strat here versus
I mean, you got a couple different ways you can do this. Obviously, the quote-unquote safe strat, you're going to play hybrid reflect. Especially with Fu and Palom both having access to nuke. You could go full reflect strats here. You will need a few more levels to get the kid online. But should still have sirens, as far as I know. So, I mean, you go do a couple dragons, a couple warlocks up on the moon, you hit that magical 52 number, and hey, you're off and running. So, I mean, either way, at this point, this is Tellah's game to lose. So.
Yep, we'll see if a further grind happens. But Tellah kind of setting up his final equipment the way he wants it. It's nice to have the Sid as the anchor. Fu is a great anchor, but of course it limits his magic output. So having Sid, who's really not going to do too much in terms of physical damage against Z with his levels and his equipment.
Right.
Great to have him in the middle with that curse ring on.
Yep, that nice 1 agility. That's a beautiful number to see. So, Commander got rewarded with the Luca key. So, obviously, I would say Commander probably beelines, grabs the Fu. And after that, probably goes spy Luca. See if it's the Twin Harp. We know it's not the Pink Tail. Pink Tail is sitting at Leviathan. So, Tellah making a quick stop back. What is Tellah possibly looking for in a shop? Maybe a Silk Web, possibly? Maybe chat brings up maybe out of a Star Veils. Has a Moon Veil, though, so we're okay on that side. I mean,
probably won't need more than 1.
Yeah, I'd say don't ever underestimate the power of a Silk Web. I mean, trying to cast slow twice when you're going up against Z, I mean, it takes time. Being able to use an item and get the same effect immediately is a really nice thing. So,
especially considering a non-mage can do it, saving your mage is to do something more interesting than slowing down the big boss.
Yep, absolutely. So there's Leonhart rejoicing at, yes, you are Fu enabled. Congratulations. Lighting up another objective. That is number 5. So quick little maintenance of, yes, put nuke in the first slot because moving in the menu costs frames and frames can cost races. That is the thing.
So he plans on casting Nuke, which is always a good strategy.
Yeah, I
Especially-
hear it's highly effective. I hear most things are a bit averse to getting microwaved.
Yeah, they hate it.
Yeah.
They hate it. Plus, the Stardust Rod got shifted from the slightly leveled Iridia to the fully online Foo.
Also, Leonhart, no, you cannot pick up an airship with another airship. You can land one on top of the other, though. We have found that out. That was the thing. Don't ask. Look, if you're not crashing into castles, towns, or putting airships on top of mountains or other airships, you're not flying correctly, okay?
Yeah, you got to keep that pedal down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make the hairpin turns. Let the dice fall. Land in a crater. Who the heck cares?
Yep. So, Tellah making the walk down, probably hit our save point and progressing to, I believe it's probably something related to all these Z flags I'm currently seeing in the channel. I
Yeah,
feel like
I'd
this is important. I mean, a nap right now sounds nice, though.
Yeah, I never understood why Z was associated with sleeping. I mean, is that the sound that snoring makes? I always just assumed that Chad's very proud. They got to the end of the alphabet. It's all done. Letters mastered.
I cannot argue that point. So, and there's Tellah popping a couple of sirens. Get the kid nuke enabled, and then we are going to be on our way. So, but we'll get to those Z flags here in a minute. We need to have a little more discussion about those.
So if you're in kindergarten or whatever grade you learn your alphabet, if you kind of wave a Z with a question mark towards your teacher, maybe they don't think you're that sure. What's after Y? Z?
Sure. So Leonhart walking down sealed cave here, avoids the rope of shame. We've all hit the rope of shame.
The rope of shame is...
Yeah. Come out of that exit, hit that rope, and you're like, I hate everything. And then you have to go grab the chest out of principle.
Yes, I'm with you on that one. And unfortunately, there is nothing you can grab when you accidentally hit the half rope of shame immediately afterwards.
Yeah, no, that's just waste time. So
you get to do a little spin though.
That is true. So let's see if we can turn this into something interesting. Can this be the Twin Heart? And can Twin Heart lead to pass? No, but that is a pass. And I think Leonhart walks this out.
He at least checks the boss. He should be able to get through just about anything pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the amount of time it saves, you unfortunately walk it out.
So the big question is, does he go to basement or does he go to the known quantity of Lugay and just have to live with just probably a little bit of regret not tackling it earlier.
Yeah. And it looks like Tellah's got everything set up. I believe this is our final walk. We are out of LST. We are now in the crystal floors of... Mop has nightmares about crystal floors. Don't ask.
So you said LST, but how about X, Y, and now it's time.
Z, huh?
There it is.
What? So what's the story with the Z flags? What's the idea behind this?
Well, the final boss is Zeromus, so Zeromus starts with Z. That makes sense to me. They're just excited to see the end of the game. I think that's it. We're going to see Zeromus. We're going to fight Zeromus, just like we all did when we played the game originally. He's going to throw big bangs and black holes, and he's going to look like a crazy, hideous monster.
Oh, wait, are we sure it's Zeromus, though? I've heard rumors this may be different.
So it's not going to throw big bangs or black holes?
Well, no, it's still going to do that. I mean, we can't really change that, but I hear there are other ways of changing the...
Indeed. Earlier we referenced the over 10, but more specifically 525 possible sprites, 526 total sprites that could be seen here. And, well, yep, it's usually this time of night.
Yeah.
One of us has to say, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
I don't think butt kicking ever gets tiring.
12 straight hours, I think you'd probably get a cramp in your quad.
Yeah, maybe. I'll tell you what, it always feels good afterwards, though, right? Kicking
It
Z
does,
and then,
yes,
yeah.
you get to see him shake and fall off the screen. You get to enter done, and Tellah's hoping that ends with a win. But even when you don't win, it's always satisfying and relief just to get the fight over and type that done.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, who is Z tonight? What do we have waiting for us?
Oh, there's a big scary monster.
Well, hello Diablo, how you doing? It's been a long time since I played the original Diablo.
I don't know about you. I bet I'm not alone in that. The Diablo 1 village theme is playing in my head right now.
Yeah, right.
So I'm curious, is this one of the originals put in perhaps by Board early on?
Honestly, I don't know.
Because it is kind of a classic boss.
I'm waiting for a certain Scala to say, hey, this is new, or yeah. So, nope, Scala did create this one, so this is hers. I mean, I feel like they're all hers anyways, but. All right, so we have a big bang. First one is nerfed. Fantastic.
Got a nuke coming out from our nuke kid.
Yep.
Bouncing it off to avoid counters.
It's a fun little mechanic, folks. Reflected spells do not trigger counters. It's useful in a few certain spots, but this is the big one. This is the one that matters because of how the refill works on Z.
Tellah is going for another nerf. He queued up a crystal throw with Yang right after a shake. If it hits at the right time, it'll make the next big bang also weak, but there will be a counter nuke. So we'll see who that lands on.
And on Commander's side, Commander's going to get his pigtail. Take a look. He actually went to the march. So he's going to be in go mode here soon. And he has a pass.
And luckily for him, it's the quicker go mode. He probably could have gotten it perhaps through the Odin spot and Heart, but that's a much longer check.
Yeah.
So a mistake by Tellah. This is not over.
No, not at all. Especially if this big bang isn't nerfed right now, that could be really bad. Okay. All right, we're still in there.
Everyone up but Sid, feeling good.
Oh, you love to see quad nines. The kid putting in work.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
I can't think of a number bigger than that.
Well, I mean, if the game had break damage limit, I would be so much. I would love to see actually Wyvern fire for like 32,000 in certain spots, and just be like, "Yeah, I get it. You killed me. Thank you."
Just really demoralize you.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's not good. That is possibly a misinput because if that just triggered the refill,
See, I haven't been counting damage, but there was the quad 9, there was an 8100 nuke, and there was at least a white or two going off.
Yeah, you're in that 45,000 threshold.
I think it's possible he's still safe. Another big nuke.
See, now I can't take my eyes off this. Now it's like,
Yep, Commander's going to be getting a Baham, but the action right now is seeing if Tellah can get through this fight without a refill of hit points. That's the whole idea behind reflex strats.
Yep.
If you don't do direct damage.
Yeah, the rule is once you're in that 40, the refill occurs at 45,000. So don't cross that threshold via a direct attack, and you're fine. If you do, ow. Now you're dealing with the full 106,000.
This nuke could do it. If not, we are going to see a big bang.
I was gonna say, yeah, this should be, if the math is right, this should be 61.
Not quite yet.
No.
Are we shy or did we refill? That is the question.
Okay. Well, so here's the bad part about this sequence. That's not nerfed. So this is hitting full power. And now the crystal's gonna possibly come out. That's gonna trigger a counter.
This white might do it.
If it doesn't, the refill happened. Yeah, it did. It did. We still have 30 some odd thousand left to go now. Oh boy.
And we're about to play the counter nuke lottery.
Mm.
Oh, he hit his numbers.
And look at this. Look at Leonhart. In the span of that, Leonhart is now going into the fight. Holy smokes, we have a finish on our hands.
The catch-up is happening. Will the Bahamut fight at Sealed Cave be the difference here, or can Tellah hold on and complete the seed ahead of Leonhart? That's the question.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Get the wall up, keep firing. Yep, there you go. All right.
Rose is not going to shrug that one off.
No, no.
Didn't hit her that hard, but she did not have that. She did not have her health.
Oh, uh-oh. Please tell me I didn't see that wrong.
We're about to find out.
Oh, no. Ah!
Yep.
The input.
Yes, one misinput. And a Big Bang is on the way. Yang will live, probably.
Boo is going to be less than a 50-50, I think. Oh, no.
Ooh,
oh, the wall
it went the
is
other
gone.
Way.
Uh-oh.
It's
yeah,
this
this is where you sit there and you're like, okay, I need something, wall, etc.
Yes. You need to make every single turn count right now to recover from this.
Oh, no. And the vibrate. Oh, no. Not like this.
What would you do right here? Cure 3, probably not a bad idea.
I don't know what Rosa has on for equipment right now. I'd say Fire Cure 4, but that is a reset.
That has opened the door for Commander Leonhart for the comeback.
Yeah. Wow. That unfortunately, that's a very scary mechanic sitting there when you're playing the Reflect game and you trigger that refill. That could go sideways very fast.
Yep, and all of us who race and run have been on either side of this. And if you're just a spectator and you're new to this, this is what, you know, as competent and as experienced as these runners are. Z, you don't mess with Z.
No, this is free enterprise. We've all done it. So anybody that doesn't admit to it, liar.
Never happened to me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Leonhart basically a dungeon away, a couple checks behind, and right now he's got the potential to take this one away.
Pretty good setup. It looks like having Yang in the top spot with the wall, so pretty much it's you're casting everything at that top slot.
Yeah,
so just send it all at Yang's face, and this.
And he has the setup for the full reflect, and if assuming we don't make that same mistake that Tellah unfortunately made, Commander should be good here. But as we can see, one thing could happen.
All right, Tellah's going in for round 2. We have nukes flying everywhere on Leonhart's side. This is, yeah. Boy, wouldn't we have all loved to have nuke against Diablo back in the day? Because,
That would
yeah, would have made life so much
have made a
easier.
difference.
Yeah.
Imagine Leonhart's only a couple good reflected spells away.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, we saw the vibrate, so we know a big bang is coming. But the second one can be faded with enough damage. Unfortunately, not enough damage.
Let's see who remains standing. Good chance Rosa goes down here.
Yep. Oh,
Hallam
the power.
does not.
Yeah, I would say the power of decent equipment. You know, that nice low roll for 1,000 there on the kid is that's very useful.
This one could be it.
Yep. That looks like that looks like a shake and a done. And ladies and gentlemen, Commander Leonhart, the winner, with an official time of 2:07:11.
Congratulations, Commander. Heck of a comeback after fading that Luge. Picture perfect reflect fight. Even losing Rosa did not matter. One more nuke did it.
And you all wonder why I keep saying I'm so exhausted. I'm playing this, I'm watching this, I am tired. These are exhausting.
I'm almost feeling the opposite. You know, this is a long seed over 2 hours, and it flew by, and Tellah's going to finish up pretty soon after.
It really did. I mean, they both played extremely well. Obviously, we'll try to get Leonhart in here for an interview afterwards, but oh, that finish. Wow.
Yep, this is why all of us who play, we tend to get hooked and we stick around. We saw some high skilled plays, some chances, and of course the big dramatic comeback by Commander Leonhart.
Hey, speak of the devil. Hi, devil.
Diablo.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, so that's a character builder. How you doing?
Yeah, that's a word for it. Oh my goodness. Did it to myself mostly, but yeah.
You know, when we saw you, first off, GG, that was a heck of a run. That Doctor dialogue, we were watching, literally, you were both there at the exact same time. Tellah did Doctor dialogue, and you exited immediately after the gauntlet. And when we saw the reward of the pink tail, we're like, oh, might come back to haunt him.
Yeah.
And look at this. This is what. So first question, obviously, the thoughts on fading Doctor dialogue after that gauntlet. What was going through your head at that point?
I wasn't even sure if I could handle it at that time, much less do it in a reasonable amount of time. I did have Quake on, but I know that spot likes to hit very hard and has a decent amount of hit points, even split up in 4 different ways. And I just wasn't convinced that it was going to be efficient, even if it was doable.
Mm-hmm. Corks, I'll let you field the question. What do you got for Leonhart over there?
I guess I'm wondering, as you did that moon plane, first of all, congratulations, and you're definitely going to want to watch this one back. I think you'll have a lot of fun seeing how the seed played out. But when you went to the moon, was that Luge check and was that Baron Odin spot check kind of weighing on you, and were you just full committed to clearing the moon and then going back for those later?
Yes and yes. I knew I'd left things behind on Earth, and I felt behind the moment I cleared Wyvern. Spent all that time watching Wyvern go, no, Asuka, you can't cast Quake. No, Asuka, you can't cast Quake. No, Asuka, you can't cast Quake. And then I got a Masamune for it, and I just, from that moment, I felt behind.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was very much aware when I went to the moon that I still had Baron Basement on the table, that I still had King of Feymarch on the table, and once I went to the moon, I wasn't leaving until it was done, unless I had found go mode up there, like Pink Tail and Sand Ruby, for instance. Then out of it.
I think everyone in chat, and I know Martin and I in the booth, were flinching every time nuke after nuke landing on that Palom, which was just heartbreaking. And fortunately,
sorry,
you're blaming Solaris.
No, I was saying that I know for a fact that Solaris likes to watch the part of the stream you can't see, which is my face. And I promise you, my expression towards the end of that wyvern fight was priceless.
It turned out it was a wash. Both you and TellahSaysRelax were at that fight essentially at the same time. He got through just a little bit ahead of you just because of that bad RNG, and you both got kind of the bad news about the item. This kind of was a seed where you had a lot of great items for characters that were not there.
Yeah,
True.
No, definitely kudos to you for obviously working with what the seed gave you, because yeah, you weren't given a lot really to play with, and
So I do want to talk about that a little bit. That might have been true later on, but early on, I felt the seed handed me everything beautiful for what my characters were. It might have just been where I chose to loot, but get the Stardust Rod in the waterfall in the Watery Pass and hand that to Palom and ask him to start waving things down. I found an Artie bow there too, I think, which I immediately handed to Rosa. There was a dancing dagger literally right next to Edward in the Baron Inn, and Tellah came with his own Stardust Rod. Now, later on, I agree with you, but early on, I felt like, wow, I mean, thank goodness, because this could have been a rude overworld without these toys.
Oh yeah, you were both given pretty much tools for your party and did obscenely well with them. So how about that DKC? How about that?
Oh, that guy. That I tried at least one too many times. Like, come on, I have him at RA1. Surely I can hide Eddie. Surely I can hide Eddie. Yes, I can't hide Eddie.
We were watching on both sides.
Eventually
both
settled in and decided better get some hit points on people. Fed the apple to the wrong person. Got Yang to the point where I could motion him through.
We were watching both of you on both sides having that exact same issue where it's all right. Let's go on Wyvern standard time. Let's set this up and everything. And yeah, DKC was having none of it. It's like, okay, well, about that. So, but yeah, no, heck of a job getting through it, though. I mean, you would really be surprised watching this back how very similar both of you ran. Even though you did a lot of different things on the overworld, the fact that you were both at that fight at pretty much the exact same time, and then continuing through the underground, the moon, and everything, and doing a lot of things still at the exact same time was just remarkable. So
thanks. And I'll definitely want to watch because I didn't feel behind going through the hook route. I know I struggled with it a little bit. I didn't feel I had ore behind. It felt like, I fought with this a little bit, but I know I did some things efficiently on the overworld. I particularly liked my run through ordeals. And I thought, this might have been where he caught up, and we might be neck and neck from here on.
Yeah.
I think, if I recall, he maybe got through a few minutes ahead of you, maybe 4 or 5. He eventually got the agility set up to the point where he could hide without grinding. So I think it's interesting, especially for chat and anyone that's new, to kind of see the various strategies that both you and TellahSaysRelax tried to get through that, and the necessity that sometimes a grind is, you're forced to kind of brute force with hit points, and all of us who have run through nasty hooks have had to do that at one point or another.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on flags that would never see the light of day in a tournament, I've certainly done worse in that spot to get through a hook route.
Well, I'm speechless. Congratulations. Welcome to 1-1. You looking forward to your next race next week?
I'll worry about that tomorrow. But tomorrow I will absolutely be looking forward to that race. There are a lot of rough names in this tournament in general, and the 1-1 section is no different. I'll have to bring my A game, of course.
And anyone who ends up facing TellahSaysRelax in the 0-2 pool, Tellah's a relatively newer runner, but is obviously kind of progressing very quickly and has showed off a lot of tricks. And anyone facing you in 1-on-1 better watch out as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Michael.
So, all right. Hey, Leonhart, go relax. That was a great time. So congratulations on the win, and yeah, chances are maybe we see you back next week.
We'll see. Everyone gets a turn, but
Yep.
We'll see. Always happy to be here. Martin, Microquarks, thanks for the comms. I'm definitely looking forward to going back and listening to that. Solaris, awesome job with the restream as always. Everyone, thanks for watching. I mean, this whole tournament and all of this is here because you're here to watch us, and that makes it a lot of fun. And I'd really appreciate the ticker scrolling over so that I can see who the tracker is and thank them too.
That would be Mecca.
Mecca, thank you for the tracking. I gave you a lot to light up.
All right, take care, Leonhart.
Congrats, Commander.
Unfortunately, during all that, Tellah did unfortunately take another wipe to Diablo.
Yep, we saw one of the dangers of relying on Reflect is that if that black hole hits at the wrong time, a white landed on Rosa, and she was put down, and that was it for that round, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Looks like we might have some background music for the rest of Tellah's fight. This is one of the rare seeds where the harp objective did not get completed.
Yeah, I know. So, but Leonhart being a man of the people, there you go.
Pretty good music for the Z fight.
It's actually appropriate. Is gonna be less than a 50-50, I think. Well, I like where this is going so far. This is obviously having all your characters pretty much full, and yeah, this is going very well so far.
Those big numbers continue to come out. As long as we can avoid that black hole and avoid a mega big bang, I think Tellah has it this time.
Yep.
Respond to NG Dave's comment about the harp and Troya playing it, and Dr. Cossack pointing out that I believe you have to let it go to see the stats start scrolling at the end. There's some little point where once you finish a seed, all of your saves get updated to allow you to return to the harp and Troya and hear the music. I think that was a couple versions ago. Maybe the one last year put that in.
Yeah, very, very welcome update, because I personally remember the days where you finish the seed, it's like, all right, now I got to watch the entire log, figure out what the chain is to get to the harp, so I can go to the harp and listen to the music. And now we have a great little shortcut to it, so it's a wonderful. I'd even go so far as to call it a quality of life update, because I mean, who doesn't want more music, right?
Especially without having to realize you have to go to the demist at CPU on Giant to get your harp.
Yeah, right.
How committed are you to, if you happen to be streaming, how committed are you to giving your stream a little music?
Yep. Oh, I don't know what happened. My save somehow just deleted, and the seed deleted, and I've forgotten what it was now. I'm sorry. Next time.
I'll hum you a tune instead.
Yeah, right. Oh no, my internet just caught fire.
Eddie's got a hand cramp.
I could see that.
You grip that spoon too tightly.
Mm.
All right, we see another reflected nuke coming out. I have not been counting for this one, but we've seen a lot of damage go out.
Let's see, are we? Yeah, it looks like we're gonna go for another nerf here.
Let's see if we can get a lucky bounce off the wall for a little extra damage.
Hey, nice call.
Yes.
There you go.
Could this get the kill?
Nice little 1 in 5 paying out there.
We at least get one more bounce spell before the Big Bang. Maybe that nuke. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there it is.
Hey, there's a flash. And we have Tellah finishing with an official time of 2:22:10. And
good game.
It looks like we're actually joined by Tellah. Tellah, GG.
Hello, Tellah.
It
doesn't feel good.
It breaks the heart. It really does.
I had it that first time, didn't I?
I had a thought when I saw it come out and I didn't see I saw a delay in there. I'm like, please say it didn't just trigger the refill. Like, please, no, not like this. And then the spells kept firing and it's like, oh no. All right. You can hold it together and
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I had opened up Discord to type my .done and I accidentally attacked. And that was it.
When we saw that power charging, it's like, you're at threshold. This is scary. This is terrifying. And oh no, I am so sorry.
Yep,
well,
you played...
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to give you a comment. You played a great seed. All of we'll definitely want to talk to you about that, getting through that hook. But yeah, very unfortunate. As you said, kind of the Discord boss, perhaps a new thing. Causing that to happen, and that's I mean, up to that point, that was really great reflect fight. And, yep.
I mean, everything up to that point
I was really expecting to lose by about 30 minutes. Commander Leonhart is one of those guys that I have watched for over a year, and I follow him, and I learned a lot from him. So I really did not expect to even be close. And when I opened up Discord and I saw there wasn't a .done yet, my heart just went crazy, and I just I just made a really dumb mistake that cost me the race.
I mean, Corks is right. You two were so far beyond side by side. You were actually ahead going underground. You had done Dr. Dialogue prior to Leonhart. Leonhart actually exited out. So you were one objective ahead for quite a while. And you were first into the Z fight. And it just, unfortunately, it didn't pay off. But yeah, no, I mean, you two were... It really is, not to spoil it, but yeah, definitely watch the run back of it because you played extremely well. So that
felt really good getting all the way through it. I knew that I was playing well. I wish I had done top down on the moon instead of bottom up, but oh well.
Don't we all? And when you found that rat tail, and I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, is this worth exiting out to go spy it if that's your go mode? And bang, off you go. It's like, I'm not going to argue that play. I mean, the way this seed played out was, I mean, you had fairly good odds you were going to get something out of there. I would love for it not to been samurai armor, but I don't fault the play on that one for a second. So.
Tell us about when you did the Fey March and you had to kind of set up your party correctly for the Alt Gauntlet there. So you can tell us a little bit about that, but then also, was there ever hesitation about taking on Luge at that spot, or was that kind of once you got through the Alt Gauntlet, got that objective, you were dedicated to finishing Feymarch?
Well, I figured that Alt Gauntlet, as long as I was floated to start it, the Alt Gauntlet was enough of a grind that would have made Luge pretty easy. And then I just, Luge typically isn't a hard boss wherever you find him, so I just kind of cruised right through that one.
And must have been pretty pleased to get such a meaningful reward. I think you obviously had the hook already because we needed it to get underground, so it gave you that objective right on the spot.
Mhm.
Yes, I definitely yelled when that pink tail came out.
It's always a good feeling. So, but yeah, I mean, all right. So yes, unfortunately, you are 0-2. What
Yep.
do you take? What do you take away from this race for next week? What did you? Is there one thing you take away from this?
One thing I can take, I mean, I played horribly in my first week's match. I did. I mean, I was 10 minutes behind within the first 10 minutes. So I played terribly in that one. I know I played way better in this round. It definitely, it at least gives me some confidence knowing that, yeah, I can do this. It's just a matter of not making dumb mistakes at the worst possible time.
Yeah, it's always nice to kind of feel an improvement from one week to the next, and whoever faces you at 0-2 had better play well, because you showed today that you can hang, and that you can beat folks.
Yeah,
I hope so. I entered this tournament hoping that I could get one victory before elimination, so we'll see.
well, we're looking forward to seeing what happens next week with you. So, but GG once again on the finish.
Well, thanks.
If you have a moment, how about that getting through that hook? What were your thoughts about that DKC?
Once I loaded it up and I just go, oh, I have Eddie. This should be easy. And then I wiped. And then I said, oh, okay, well, I'll just make sure I have this the anchoring situation right. And then I wiped again. And then I said, okay, I'll turn down battle speed to 6, and that should be plenty. And then I wiped again. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do everything all at once. Put the anchor, get battle speed down to 6, put Eddie in that top spot, just so I get. And then once I had that, I don't think I've actually ever faced DKC there before.
Oh, what a nice introduction you had
I
today.
was gonna say, yeah, that's a learning experience that we all wish we never had to deal with. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing.
I didn't see you shake his hand afterwards and say, "Good show, old man."
All right, well, yeah, once again, well played. Unfortunately, not the result we wanted, but we'll see you back in week 3.
Yeah. Thanks for the restream. Thanks for the commentary. I'm looking forward to watching it back and seeing just some other things that I can improve upon, and we'll better luck for next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right, take
Good
care.
luck, Tell. Enjoy the rest of your races.
Goodbye.
Whew.
Well,
We're still in day 13, Corks. There's still more racing.
week
happening.
2 is not over.
Not by a long shot. You got any final words?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to acknowledge our behind-the-scenes folks, Mecca for the tracking, and Solaris for holding everything together. And it's been a pleasure working the booth here with you, Martin, for the first time together.
Yeah.
And I look forward to it again.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great time. 10 out of 10 would do again. Obviously, Solaris, Mecca doing all the important work, and us just sitting here talking to everyone's ears off. You thought we were done with you. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, there's more racing. We're going to send you over a Randomania where there is a race in progress currently between Chaos Shades and Silverfire. So, not that we have to tell you not to spoil this race, but I think
Don't spoil it.
I think I just did. So,
And I'm echoing it.
I was gonna say, read between the lines on this one, folks. So go
Tell
say
them how
hi,
exciting it
Random
was.
Mania. Yeah, go show up your support. Obviously, like I said, Chaos Shade, Silverfire, both running it. Go say hi. Go do things. You're all fantastic. Korgs, you're wonderful. I'm looking forward to
Right.
doing this again soon.
Right back at you.
And hide all your buttons, everyone, because there's a rabid possum running around. So
He's Randomania's problem now.
yep, absolutely. So till then, next time, everyone, take care. I got nothing. I got nothing. Day 13. We ain't
Good
done.
night.
There's more.
Enjoy more racing.